Hey, we're back. Hopefully gonna finish up another Metroid 2 remake today. Been enjoying this fan game quite a bit so far. And then with much sadness, we'll be moving on to Metroid Other M. Maybe is better than I think it's going to be. Hey, how's it going, sir? How you doing? Power bomb, okay. I'll take it. I think I may have had something straight up from here. I think I can blow those up with the screw attack safely, if I recall. It's a cool enemy. Cool little warp room towards the end of the game. I want to get that item that I left behind underneath here. See if there's a shortcut to get down there. Oh. I can shoot rockets with that thing too. Missiles, rather. It's good to have all these upgrades now. So, bomb thing? Oh god, speed boost. So cute. You have to come from the very top of the stage. That seems like that's way too much of a hassle for me to bother with, so I'm not going to. I'll check what's over here in the bottom left, though. Okie dokie. Interesting. Definitely do some mechanical shenanigans in this. I don't think a main series Metroid game would ever make you care about the difference between jumping and dashing and falling off a ledge like that, right? It's kind of cool. I guess there were a couple of tricky dash secrets in Zero Mission. Oh god, seriously? Okay, that makes more sense. The music here kind of reminds me of Echo the Dolphin. Less terrifying than Echo the Dolphin, though. Metroid in this room? Oh, it's a teleport thing. Let me check the other door here. Yeah, the dash is an ability that you have to charge up by having open space. There are Metroids down here. I'm glad I came and check it out. Guessing power bomb does not hurt them, if I'm correct. Guessing screw attack does nothing on them too. Come on up, folks. Fly up. Just out of range of them there. That was frustrating. Got a little bit of a juggle there. Got one down. Okay, that should be easier. Perfect. Got dead Metroid progress. I still have other things to do here. I'm gonna go see what that teleporter door was. I think Echo the Dolphin is terrifying, period. Just a scary game. Got a really oppressive atmosphere and soundtrack. It's very difficult. You run into many large things. You got mechaphobia on top of thalassophobia. The final boss level in Echo is really creepy. I guess I don't have a way to get past this yet, do I? I don't think I do. But... Speeding with piercer enemies. Try dashing. Skip it at least. Oh, Ice Beam. Wow, I'm glad I came back this way. It's a pretty big deal. Now I can fight Metroids. Oh, that's kind of cool. Need super missiles to open those. Nearly skipped the Ice Beam. This is where I'm gonna learn. That's cool. Gotta be careful with my missiles, apparently. Destroy some of these platforms. Trace, Hostiles, Ceres. Amphibian predator capable of reaching ultra-high speeds. Fastest animal on SR-388. Layer of skin on its underside serves as a respiratory organ, sensitive to sudden drops in temperature. That's cool. They definitely had fun with the scanning text in this. Gonna freeze its entire underside, I assume. That's cool. Once I break, then I see. I love that it's using the speed boost sound. It's cool. It's where it's cool that they give you the space jump so early. You can have cool bosses like this. I'm out of stuff to freeze or close to it. There's one little section I can still freeze, I think. I'm gonna die. This is a tough fight. Out of super missiles when I got in here too. I think I got rid of all the freezable stuff now. Stop pissing it off so much, apparently. I might be able to freeze its face. It's the same color as its body, or maybe not. Hey, that was pretty cool. Let's get to a save point, shall we? Nice. I like how they float up when you freeze them like that. That's cool. That felt like a boss that would have been challenging to do on the SNES. All the different segments on the boss's body. Able to deal with fully mature Metroids now. Oh, that's nice. The little things that come out of the wall drop the super missiles you need to be able to pop it open. Alright. Save points. Fully formed Metroids are weak against ice, and you need to be able to freeze them and then bomb them. Baby Metroids aren't. Can still die to normal attacks. Alright, I think I feel pretty done with this section. There's that area down at the bottom. Looks like I go down further. Let me double check the warps and see if they go anywhere interesting first, I guess. This area's done. It's a cool mechanic where it's like we explored all design space in like 2 minutes and gave us an ability that was ignored. Let's see. I'm gonna go check a couple obvious spots really quick. This is a speed boost room, wasn't it? I'm gonna say there was a... Yeah. Oof. I think the problem was I tried getting this, but I wasn't able to get on top of this thing here in order to launch myself up without losing speed boost, so I will skip that one, see what's up in the top right. Oops. Sorry. Power bottom is why I didn't do this before. Okay. Depends on if that stays destroyed. Dude, there's some crazy dash tech required. Some of the secrets in this game. I don't think I can get to whatever's beyond here. It's fine, I checked what it was at least. Alright, I'm gonna try going straight down. You mean the boss? Oh, I got a new thing to filter out. That's always fun. Oh, 2 of them at once. Wonderful. You guys kidding me with this? I have an easy, quick ban here. Big followers, right? Make that easier on myself for next time. Alright, keep going. No worries. First time I've ever had 3 at once, different accounts. Oh, there's another one over here. Cool, let's check this out. Not on purpose, but hey, I got to check what was over here. So it looks pretty good for the most part. There might be something in that suspicious empty room there, but... Say this game has the best time limit escape sequence in any Metroid game I've played. So I'm gonna go straight down. Hey, don't tell me there's 2 of them though, right? Very mean. That's okay. It's just a missile tank. I can live without it. This may be progress. I guess we'll see. And they make sure I got the ice beam before coming through here. It's definitely possible. Metroid 2 seems pretty dependent on having lots of missiles. Which arrows? These ones? You have to be speed boosted to be able to move through them. Brake if you're speed boosting. I suspect that this wasn't any progress. I'll have to look elsewhere. I'll show you. If you crouch while you're speed boosting and don't fuck it up. You can go straight up. Alright. Let's try going to the empty blue on the left there. Whoops, meant to launch right. Left, rather. There we go. You're like converting your momentum by crouching and then redistributing it. It's optional tech in most Metroid games. I don't think I've needed it for progress so far. It's only been for shortcuts and secrets. But they're definitely more willing to make you use optional tech in this game. Technically I can wall jump, but I don't think I've ever done something that's required me to wall jump so far. It's like how you don't need most of Mario's toolkit in Mario 64 to beat the game, or even 100% it. Just a shortcut back up. Yes. You don't need to do Mario's triple jump, you don't need to do his backflip. Hey Leah, did you change your screen name again? Very good. Well, I'll try to merge your old points and stuff over. How are you doing? I feel like there's going to be a power-up related to the speed boost coming soon. Although maybe I can speed boost into a ball? I know there's tech with turning into a ball. Okay. I feel like that some enemies just die when you freeze them. That's nice. That's a cool secret. Star in the early snow level in Mario 64, we were expected to triple jump. You can get it through any number of other means, though, I assume. I don't know if you ever need to wall jump in Mario 64 either. You definitely do in some of the later 3D Mario games. I have to think about it. I don't know Mario 64 super well. Scanning environments. One Metroid detected in the area. Is it going to be a fully grown one? I got all 120 stars a couple times as a kid, but it wasn't a game that I played enough times for it to be burned into my brain. Played it enough that if I played it again, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this one. Oh, I remember this one. So not like complete amnesia like a lot of the games we play on stream that I've seen before. Ah, gotcha. A DM? I don't think I got it. Marstead 0001, right? Oh, Facebook. I was like, what? Yeah, no problem. It's pretty easy for me to migrate SP and stuff over. I just have to remember to do it. Regular baby Metroid. Interesting. Background in this area reminds me a lot of the Genesis, like Cave of Wonders, Genesis, Aladdin. That did nothing. Interesting. Are they sending me back to the same room? That would be interesting. This could be like a quick recap of the Metroid life cycle to set us up for the fully formed one. this is new. Never mind. Hear gunfire in the distance. Oh. Living soldiers about to be not living anymore. I'm okay with them being alive very briefly, as long as I don't get to talk to them. The Omega Metroid exhibits devastating strength, and impact from its claws can severely cripple or kill large animals. The most heavily armored prey are flung through the air. Despite its towering figure, it can leap and use its weight as a weapon. Glands in the mouth ignite its saliva, turning it into an organic flamethrower. Final stage of a Metroid's life cycle, and very few manage to reach it. It's good. Really enjoyed it so far. I like how it borrows a lot of the moves from the previous life forms. I've done a good job of setting them all up here. Oh god, the knockdown is brutal. Too close there. Out of super missiles, which is bad. Oh good, I had enough super missiles. Lucky. It's a lot of dead folks. Search and rescue team was an elite combat group consisting of heavily armed soldiers. There are no survivors from search and rescue team. Okay. I'm in dire need of more super missiles. It's like a very different approach to the source material compared to the 3DS Metroid 2 remake from Nintendo. But it's really cool seeing two works adapt the same source material at the same time and get very different results. And not be really influenced by one another. I don't know if we really experienced that too many times in just fiction and creative work in general. Usually there's long enough of a gap between adaptations that they have to influence one another, right? Or the old one has to influence the new one. Dune movies. I love long jumps in Mario, they feel so good. Just general traversal. Right, but isn't there long enough of a gap in between Romance of the Three Kingdoms adaptations that, like, the developers would have had time to have played the previous installments and be at least somewhat inspired by them? The thing that seems unusual about this is that this was developed basically at the same time as the 3DS game, with zero cross-pollination. at least close to 0. You can make a Journey to the West inspired thing now, but you're probably going to know, at least through cultural osmosis, about Dragon Ball. So they were adapting the concept of a looter shooter. That's cool. I wonder if we have any movies where something like that happens. I know you get movies that come out at the same time that were based on a similar, like, initial script. So you get your Deep Impacts and your Armageddons coming out at the same time, but they're usually not based on the exact same, like, book or source material. If you could compare them to the Protean script, primordial script, but those usually aren't available. 3 Metroids. I think once, if you're looking at a work that's been adapted multiple times, if the later adapter is able to consume the earlier adapter's work at all, it's already tainted, right? Like, any decisions they make are going to be informed by their experience with the original adaptation. Whether they're intentionally doing things the same way or intentionally doing things differently. Hey customer, yes it is. I really wonder if I'm going to get a speed boost ability. Lets me launch it from standing or something. Or it's just like really crazy tech that I'm not good at. It's also possible. We did the official 3DS remake on stream a couple years ago. Oh sure, I don't think that there's a problem with works where there's been a gap between adaptations. I gave an example last session that Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings adaptation is clearly informed by Ralph Bakshi's animated Fellowship of the Ring. And like, to its benefit, the couple scenes that are direct reference to the animated movie are very cool and well done and work well both in the original material and in the adaptation. It's just interesting to think that it's rare that you have a situation where two people are adapting something in like complete quarantine from one another. So if both of them decide, hey, this area that was unclear in the original is now a lava room, right? I found out how to get in there to do my super missile and not immediately take damage afterward. One guy and some folks he contracted out to help with art and music, I think. There's the Ralph Bakshi Fellowship of the Ring movie. And there's, I forget who did The Hobbit and Return of the King. It's the same team that did those two. Very different in tone from Fellowship. I grew up on the Ralph Bakshi cartoon. It's got a lot of rotoscoping, like old school Disney Snow White. But like the scene in the Prancing Pony in Bree, where Strider is like sitting in the corner and he's like cloaked in shadow and he's like smoking a pipe. It's like almost exactly adapted from the Ralph Bakshi cartoon. It was pretty cool to see. There's a couple other scenes like that. Tolkien also does a really good job of describing that scene, so it's possible that they both just did it that way because that's almost exactly the way it looks in people's mind's eye as they read the book. But it seems too on the nose to be accidental. The old BBC Chronicles of Narnia was really good. It was a little silly because, like, they didn't have CG, right? So all the talking animals were just people in giant animal suits. So, like, the beaver family were giant beavers versus the modern interpretation where they're, like, just talking regular-sized beavers. Not human-sized. Shit. Losing a super missile on this boss is really painful. I think I can morph ball to dodge that sometimes. Jumping over him is a pain. I'm able to dodge, that's good to see. I think I need to have like 7 direct hits with super missiles to kill it, which I'm not going to get here, so I might die. Oh, that knockdown is sucky. I'm super dead. No. And I'm dead. Yeah, I just hadn't set aside the 14 hours to watch it. I think I might have, I don't remember how far back this is. I might have to fight an Omega Metroid that I already beat again. We'll see. Make sure to backtrack then. Gotta be really careful here. I think it's exactly 7 super missile shots. Wasn't able to dodge that guy. Alright, I got my 1 miss out of the way. I cannot miss anymore. Perfect. Let me go save and then fight some enemies to restock, because I think I got into that last fight without a full stock of super missiles. That's cool as well. I went to the midnight showings for Fellowship, Two Towers, and Return of the King. Hot off of having reread the books for them. I remember I was still a kid that got annoyed at things that were deviations from a literal adaptation. So I left only mostly happy. Before coming to the conclusion that, like, if you're gonna adapt something, it's a different medium, there's certain things you have to change If you want the exact original story, just read the exact original story. It exists. I think it's a phase a lot of nerds have to go through, like being a grammar Nazi. Transitioning from language is descriptive to language is prescriptive. Or the other way around. Transitioning from prescriptive to descriptive. Oh yeah, I was pissed about Tom Bombadil. I was one of those kids. Actually, they're supposed to be like over a decade from when Gandalf first visits, and when he comes back, it's fine. Beginning of Fellowship is really slow in the book, and it needed to be punched up a bit. In retrospect, I can see why they cut Tom Bombadil. I used to believe that Tom Bombadil is Eru, although I think Word of God on that, like, I think Tolkien came out and explicitly said he was not. Like, someone asked him that while he was still alive. He was like, no. Why would you think that? Oh shit, got my one miss there. And I'm gonna have to use regular missiles for at least part of the skill. This is bad. At least I saved. I'll watch for the boss's iframes. So you don't know how many super missiles or how many regular missiles a super missile shot is worth. Ow. Oh, not that many, it turns out. That wasn't so bad. Caught up to where we were before I died. At least 1.1. I think they did Shadowfax pretty well. Lord of all horses. My family was super into midnight premieres, now that I think about it. Matrix sequels. Oof. Pretty sure I saw Revenge of the Sith at midnight. That's unfortunate. Oh yeah, I did do Midnight 6 on a plane. That was a stupid movie to see on midnight. Combo attack was nasty. Yeah. Everybody cheering. That movie was better as an event than it was an actual movie. It shouldn't be shocking to anyone. Oh, there's a little gap in its back that you can shoot. That's cool. Looks like it took more damage. I think it might be that 6 super missiles get it really close to being dead. Everyone said they've had it with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane line in our theater. I don't think I've been to a midnight showing since... Well, no, I was gonna say since meeting Andrea, because she goes to bed at like 8. But that's not true, because the last 3 or 4 years, theaters stopped doing midnight showings, and they started doing the midnight showing at like 7 p.m., which I'm grateful for. I don't want to go to sleep at 4 in the morning just to see The Force Awakens or whatever. I feel like one theater got that idea. It's like, hey, we could do the midnight showing like 5 hours earlier, and it would be a lot less brutal on our staff. Like the late release one. Yeah. Pretty sure I did that with Andrea too. She's super into the Hunger Games. What ability slots do I still have? Oh, none. Interesting. You have a lot of the abilities for most of this game. It's pretty cool, actually. Kind of the, I feel like this game is to Metroid as Link Between Worlds is to Zelda. Which would probably explain why some folks like Walter weren't a big fan of this one. I really like Link Between Worlds a lot. Never gone to see a movie that wasn't at least a week old. Terminator 3 and Mulan 2. Damn. Realized Mulan 2 got a theatrical release. Yeah, right. Enjoyed that while living in California. It's 10 p.m. now, which is still a reasonable time to stay up. The crowded theaters are trash. I'm not a fan. We may have gone to see Infinity War and Endgame for the midnight showing. But that was mostly just because as a streamer, it was really likely that we were going to get a bot to come in here and spoil it. Oh, yikes, Robin. Big oof, as they say. Oh, how was Sonic? I remember being really scared when my parents took me to see All Dogs Go to Heaven, just because the theater was dark. I was very young, like 4 or something. The year that movie came out, minus 1987, was how old I was. I remember my parents and me and my sister went to a theater to see... My dad was going to watch Mortal Kombat with me, and my sister and my mom were going to go watch some Panda movie. And I freaked out during the first scene of Mortal Kombat because it was very scary, and left and went and watched the Panda movie instead. I feel like if the movie was worried about like being faithful to Sonic canon, that probably would have been a ding. Yeah, it's really good. I think Mortal Kombat's one of the better video game adaptations, and they're mostly terrible. The first like half of the Silent Hill adaptation is pretty decent. The Mario Brothers movie is good, like bad good. Oh, Hoskins just drunk most of the movie. Oh, spooky. Okay. Go back through there in a second. Well, a lot of apparently kid-friendly movies in the 80s and 90s had parts that were extremely scarring. Yeah, your Judge Doom and Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It's one-way shortcut. Okay. The Mario movie is an example of what happens when you try to fit something into the like Hollywood screenplay formula and your input does not fit at all. It's actually kind of fun as an experiment from that perspective. The best movie or movies that I think fell into that category was Addams Family with Raul Julia and Angelica Houston and Christina Ricci, and Addams Family Values. Like, the fit it into the Hollywood screenplay part is really dumb. The movies themselves are incredible though. That might just be due to the performances. Like, it's basically perfect casting across the board. I'm enjoying it so far, Clay. Working through finishing the whole franchise. Just got this one and Other M and Fusion left to go. Have to see for ourselves how big of a travesty Other M ends up being. Yep, I did Metroid Prime 1 through 3 on stream 5 years ago. Jeez, those VODs are on YouTube, but they're a little rough. Especially Metroid Prime 2. I hadn't really like developed enough of a following to be able to ask chat for help. And I often got stuck long lengths of time. Yeah, if you go to the games panel thing under the stream or Marstead.com, there should be YouTube links for all the Metroid games we played so far. This one I still have to add. I'm doing that later this week. I think it's mostly that my streaming format was not friendly for Metroid Prime 2. At the time, I was doing this thing where I would play for 6 hours and switch games every like hour and a half to 2 hours, which I don't recommend. So it probably wouldn't be as big of a problem if I didn't have like tiny little bursts like that, and then I'd come back the next day and be like, what the fuck was I doing? Ooh. That's interesting. This is pretty endgame-y sounding music here. Is that gonna be the baby Metroid? From the opening of Super Metroid? Oh, hey, friend. I love the idea of the Metroids. They're such a cool... Like, I love that they've had the same lore since the original game, and that like they kind of naturally incorporate Samus's entire toolkit. You gotta freeze them with your beam, and then you gotta missile them to finish them off, and you gotta use the morph bomb in order to escape when they grab you. And being weak against cold is kind of a cool sci-fi concept too. Like, it also happens to be video gamey, but it could work in a movie. Gotta fight one in a platform room. No, not particularly. There are much more serious fair use questions, just as a streamer in general, that are mostly answered by nobody bothers to enforce, because it seems that streaming Let's Plays is a net benefit to the gaming industry. Whoa, this is cool. Super into this. Queen Metroid. Part of the species and mother of every Metroid born in SR388. Roll in the Hive has hindered her mobility. It encouraged the development of a long neck and massive head to strike at distance. It's heavily aged, possibly as old as the lab she's settled in. Years have reinforced her torso to impenetrable levels. They've gone through a unique life cycle. Kind of cool. I like the way they project you're about to have to deal with that, right? This might be the same as the boss in the original game. I haven't played it very long. I've definitely not gotten to the end of it. The Game Boy game. These two? Oh, cool. Nice. haven't beaten the original Game Boy game. I've played the official Nintendo 3DS adaptation. For the longest time, this felt like the one that was most needing a remake, which is why I was excited for this to come out. I remember following the development of it a bit. Yeah. It's hard to get Metroid Vision as a kid, I think. I mentioned this last episode that kind of the Metroid series, in part, is sort of a game about deception. So you're supposed to learn to not trust the obvious level design, right? Metroid Vision is seeing the places that are hidden in the stage. This boss has like no iframes. Taking way too much damage in this fight right now. Here we go. Oh god. Sweet. Right. I'm not afraid to hide things is a good way to describe it. The little baby Metroid now. The scene from the opening of Super Metroid. It's cool. I'm gonna like touch a falling stalactite and die instantly, right? Yeah, they did a little thing. I think this was also, it's probably in the original too. But in the 3DS game, you needed the little baby Metroid to open paths for you like that. It's cool. It's cool music, impacted by the "you're low on health" noise siren. Prints on you. Like that they already did the time limit to escape thing. That'd be cool. If you didn't watch this whole playthrough, I'd recommend checking out episode 1 and the escape sequence. So I think it's the coolest escape sequence I've seen in a Metroid game. It does some shenanigans under the hood. Super pretty. It's cool. That was an enemy. For sure. Did I rescue some of these? Are these like an optional... I know some of them have little babies flying around them. Is it gonna play through the credits? Okay. She probably healed herself when she got in her ship, right? Hooray! That was fun. I love how a fan game creator had more restraint in not having Ridley there than Nintendo did. I feel like that would be the most fan gamey thing ever to do, right? That was a lot of fun. I'm glad we went ahead and included this. I wouldn't use this as precedent for whether I'll ever include a fan game in the future. This is a pretty special one, just because Metroid 2 so badly needed a remake. And it was just unfortunate that right when it came out, Nintendo was like, oh, we're doing our own, sorry. We also realized that. Ridley's kind of like your lightsaber fight, proton pack, like, it's cool. You don't make your game cooler by having lots of it, or your movie cooler by having lots of it. Use it sparingly. In memory of Satoru Iwata. Rest in peace. Alright. Not bad. See you next mission. Oh, I think I've seen that on Spriter's resource before. Okay.
The galaxy is at peace.
In Super Metroid. That's a cute way to end it there. I like that. Happy birthday, Darkstair. Alright. Give me a few minutes to get other M's set up.